Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of SoulCARE.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SoulCARE. And hope you had a great week since I talked to you last Monday. I'll put the comments on here. You never know from day to day what's going to happen. I remember that every Monday night, both sides now and beyond, Kelly White does our astrology for the week ahead or month ahead, and she's pretty on. I got to tell you, she's on, and it comes in different ways. But boy, she's been on the past 2 or 3 years. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Debbie Smith. Hello, Mary. Hello, Kim. Happy you're here as well. Look forward to these times together. They're great. Hi, Dee Dee. Hi, Mimi Nee. Good morning, Susan Armstrong. Hello, Catherine Maloney. Hello from Florida. I'll be there next week. Yes, I'm doing the event in Fort Lauderdale next week in Florida and also in Tampa, St. Pete. So if you're interested in that area, please, you want to go, please do. It's on my website, vanprog.com. You can find all the details as far as registration. And it's the Parker Playhouse in Fort Lauderdale. I know that. Good afternoon from Newton, New Jersey. Hello, Jennifer. I've been there many times in New Jersey doing shows and demonstrations. Hi, Sir Clifford. Hi, Marge. And I'm sorry anybody's suffered through those tornadoes. My goodness gracious, there were 16 tornadoes one time last Thursday or Wednesday. It was throughout the Midwest. Wow. So sorry to hear that, and hope you're all okay. If you know someone, sending our best and our thoughts and our love. Come back to Atlanta. Yes. Jay Powers from Ukraine. God bless you, sweetie. God bless you, sweetie. Wanda Sabri. Look at my 7:30. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. I'm doing Shift Network next week and Hay House, both. I'm doing online. There'll be Shift Network and also Hay House. So we'll make sure those are on the website, vanprog.com, just so you have them. All the links, and the links will be all set for you to register. Okay. I'll write that down because I'm meeting later today about that. So Shift and Hay House link. Okay. Thanks for reminding me. Link on vp.com. Okay. Vanprog.com. Hi. Hello. Over from Scotland, Diane. Great whiskey country. I'll be there in October with Gordon Smith. We're doing a tour together. So I'll be there then. Thank you, Wendy. My sister is sending you. Yeah, thank you, Robert. Nice shirt. Thank you. I just bought this at a surfer's place. I feel like a surfer now. Yeah, it's been an interesting time. Thank you, Nadine. Thank you very much, sweetheart. I appreciate it. Yes, so some people refer to my sister. My sister, Lynn, is in the process of passing away. I went back last week to New York, and she had stomach cancer and had chemotherapy, and it was fine for 2 years. But, chemotherapy burns the body, too, so it takes out the healthy cells. And to me, personally, my own personal opinion, I wouldn't do chemotherapy personally, depending on the condition, of course it is. But I think it takes a toll on the body. So she's reached that point. And last week I was told, I was sitting here in my office doing emails, and I would say one spirit, I would consider say my father, but I never been, as a medium, never been able to read my own loved ones until I have someone with me. So I'll tell you the whole story. I was here doing emails, and this presence came to me. Presence says, I think it was more than one, and said, "You need to leave right now to go to New York." So I literally went and got a ticket on a plane, and the next day, and I was there within a day, and she was in pain, and they wouldn't give her anything. So I worked with my brother and my family and made sure they gave her pain and medicine. And it made her better. She never liked taking drugs and medications, but it made her better. But she kept on asking me, "Am I dying?" And she was going in and out of sleep and consciousness. And she would say, "Am I dying?" And she would say, "I'm very proud of you. And am I dying?" And what do you say to someone like that? Right. So she knows enough to know that she was on her way out. But all I said to her was, "There's no death. There's no death." And that's all I could say, because she was dying in one part. but there is no death. So she was very much alive. We talked about the people on the other side who were there. We talked about her having a party. The funny thing is, I think that the week before, that day, a couple of days before I left New York, she came to me in my mind, and she said to me, "I'm very proud of you, very proud of you." And she's giving me names of these people that I haven't heard from 50 years. And I asked my other sister and brother, and they said, "Yeah, that was her camp counselor when she was 11 years old." It was very strange. So there's a part of course, the soul that leaves the body before physical death. It only happened once before, and that was my father was in a coma, and he spoke to me when he was still in a coma. And she did as well, came to me. She was still alive. She came to me in my mind, very strong. So it shows us there are different levels of the soul, right? Many different levels of the soul. So we call it the oversoul. And I don't know exactly, of course, but there are all these different levels. And it felt as though she was already there, in one respect, her higher self. But it takes the physical part to finally leave and join up. And that's, I think, the worst part. I think that there is no death at all, but the worst part of death is the lingering. Like this is what she's gone through, the trauma, the suffering of it. And that was very traumatic, I must say, to see someone you love in severe pain like that. So she wasn't sick enough for a hospice, but she got some couple of drugs, thank God, for the pain. And she was fine, but she kept on going in and out. And another weird thing was I was on the plane playing music, and I heard the Tommy the Who song, Welcome to the Camp. And I was singing that. And the next day when I was in her room, she started singing, Welcome to the Camp. She started singing that song. So it goes to show you that we're not just in this box. We're all over the place. We're expansive. We're all around. So anyway, it was very interesting. I was there, and we had some great talks, and she was very conscious of what's going on. She said, this sucks. And I try to keep it light. And she says, this is the worst pain ever. So anyone who has that type of a disease, cancerous disease, we do not need to suffer. There should be no suffering for a soul. We suffer enough in this lifetime. It's a hard school down here. As you know, we go through a lot of rough things, a lot of rough times with losses, the way people behave, people treat one another. It's a rough place. That's enough suffering. At the end of our life here, it should be a good time, because it's a wonderful reunion. There's a party that goes on, as my sister would say. They're getting ready for the party. She knew that. So we should really treat our animals better with euthanasia. I'm all for letting someone go and not go through the pain. I'll make sure that I have that set up. If it comes to me, I'll be all set up to go. Because no one should suffer. We're not here to suffer. Souls are not meant to suffer. The wonderful spiritual world, the intelligence of the world, has influenced scientists to invent, if you will, compounds, medicines, to stop pain. So we don't need to be in pain. So that's my story there. So she's now in a hospice, and she's on morphine drip, and it's assumed tonight or next day she'll make the final work over there. And no matter who you are, something that comes in fear, because it's in the unknown. Even though she's worked with the spirit world for a long time, it's dying with dignity is really important, Dee Dee. I think I live for that. I worked in a hospital for 4 years, and it was when I was doing temporary jobs before mediumship, and I worked at in all different areas, departments of the hospital, from the chairman of the board, I guess you'd say, the committee there, to a place called the utilization review, where you check and make sure the doctor's prognosis were correct and diagnosis was correct. And also I'd worked at the AIDS ward. It was the very first AIDS ward they had. It was back in the 80s, and in Bay Hospital in Los Angeles. And I remember it was very, very interesting, because no one would want to go there. And I would go there, and I would see often, not only on that floor, but other floors, I would often see these beings of light. So I can describe it. And this is before I was really into the mediumship. I was just exploring it. But I'd see these beings going from one room and down the hall to another room. And later found out that person in that room had passed over. And these were people coming in to prepare that. And I know there's a preparation. There's got to be. So the other night when I was leaving, I spent 2 days with my sister, and I was leaving at night. I was going to go that night, 10 o'clock at night, or whatever it was. And I'm in the room, and all of a sudden, that energy came back to me that told me to go to New York. Came back, and it was loads of beings around. The room was filled. And I heard them say, you need to go now. You need to go right now. I said, okay. It's almost like your work is done. You need to move on. So I told another sister, and that was that. So yeah, it's interesting, the process of death, the process of dying. I talked to Kelly White, and we decided I wanted to dedicate tonight's show, Both Sides Now and Beyond, to my sister, because it's important that we all know about this process. Even someone who works with death every day, this process is grueling and hard and traumatic. And I think we should talk about it and dying in the death process with dignity. And that's tonight. We're going to have an open discussion about that process of death and dying. Yeah, I'll be live on Facebook and YouTube tonight at 7:00. So thank you. Hello, Sean. Hello, Linda. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Mother Teresa has come up a lot during this transition period. Thanks, Deborah. Thank you, Wanda. Good. Yeah, it's an honorary thing, and it brings families together in many ways. So I met the grandnieces I've never met before. So it's in some ways it's a blessing, and in other ways it isn't. But my philosophy, there needs to be any pain for anyone. So very important. Okay. Hi, Glennie. Jake wants me to say hi. He loves you. Well, hi, Jake. I don't know who you are, but thank you, and thank you for all the souls crossing. We get to go home. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that. It's true. We do. We get to go home, and all those beings that we've over there helped will come back and help us. Yes, it's true, Nadine. Is that even though we are educated, we know about this world, it's the physical shell, this physical part of us, which moves on. And again, I'm one to have no pain. No way should be a pain. And I guess. Thank you, Sue. Yeah, it's a tough one. Linda Lee, my husband's veins collapsed, couldn't have IV, so I had to crush meth pills and put in his cheek. He lasted 21 days. Yeah, that's a tough one, sweetheart. Yeah, so what I did was my niece, her daughter, we found out that she didn't have any, there was no money left for her to bury her even. And she said, I'm going to open up a GoFundMe page on Facebook to have a wake and a funeral and opening up the grave. The husband is buried, and these kids did not have a good life. They had a hard life because their father completed suicide when they were young. So part of that trauma. So anyway, she started a GoFundMe page on Facebook, and Renee has put it up here in the link. If you'd feel compelled or you'd like to help out the family, that'd be great. They're only asking for $25,000. We're up to like 18, and just to get her, she wants a blue dress and put her in. Yeah, so it's a mixed array. I'm happy she's gonna be out of her pain, but it's the kids left behind. It's hard for them because the house is not paid for, the car is not paid for. She has all these bills. So my brother said you should really max out her credit cards. Anyway, so she felt that she wanted to do that for my sister. So I'm supporting that, and I put it up here. If you'd like to help, that'd be really incredible. And I'm also going to put that on the show tonight. Thanks, Justine. Thanks, Michelle. Val, I'm sorry about you. Says my mother had been given morphine to ease her last moments. Here we are. Hi, Val. More to ease her last moments. It's hard, but knowing she isn't in pain when she passed made it easier to swallow. Love you, James. Thanks, Val. Yeah, it's my father was the same way. It was morphine and Ativan, and I had to push the morphine a little bit more because my brother and I pushed it. It was very much like the Terms of Endearment movie with Shirley MacLaine. And when she runs around the house saying, give her pain shot. And that's what I was like this week. It was very interesting because it's a very difficult place to be in when they're understaffed too. That's very good, true, Nadine. The last wonderful thing we could do for our loved ones is help them over. Very, very true. And Kelly said it's a major transformation time, which it is. Lots of transformation time. Wow. Yeah, I do think as my sister, cancer, it's an evil, physical, and it's terrible. It's interesting, but I felt very strong that she has work to do on the other side and that they're waiting for her over there. And I really got the sense that she was going to help people pass over from the other side because of this situation, because of this last condition she's been through. So, yeah. Oh, hi, Leanna. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Birthday tomorrow, 4th of April. Good. Today's the 3rd. Happy birthday, Aries. Thank you very much, Jamie. Here's Sarah Halstead. Says, last Friday I was overcome with thoughts of a former coworker who was in hospice. throughout the day. I just kept thinking of her and her two daughters. Yeah, because the mind never goes. The mind is part of the soul. I wonder if she was still here. Last night I learned she passed on Friday. Somehow I knew. Yeah, on some level, Sarah, we do know these things because, again, we have to keep on reminding ourselves that this physical body is only 30% of the soul. 70% is outside the body. So that's open to all different kinds of laws and properties and places, adventures. And, we can go in different places. As my sister came to me when she was still in the physical body and she was traveling. So, and it's almost like the physical body, once that's over, the rest of that, I almost count like the footing of the soul, the bottom, the densest part has to catch up then with the higher self. I think that's what the passing is. Oh, thank you, Joan. Renee, hi, Renee. I pray one day perhaps our beautiful death doulas will be able to advocate for allowing those in severe pain to have assisted by medicine to cross and not suffer. My husband suffered in pain. Yeah, Renee, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be pain. I mean, come on, our society would better take better care of our animals. I mean, we can euthanize the animals. I live in California, which is a state that you can do euthanasia, but a lot of paperwork, which make sure I have done. But it's just cruel. It's a cruelty. It's cruel. That's all I got to say. It's very cruel. It's like the days of leeching. They used to the leeches. And they used to take the blood out of people in the 1800s. It's kind of like we're at that. We got to move on from this. So thank you for your good thoughts. I think all of our thoughts in that way help move things around. Carrie, before we are born, so we planned on how we die. Part of the lease on, yes, Carrie. I do believe that. I mean, there's part of me which believes that we know the exit points we're going to take, and the reason why I take on conditions like a disease or cancer. It's hard for in this level to answer that completely correctly because there's so many factors involved. Could it be that we've brought on certain conditions, which I think is very true, and in that life lesson that we've taken on that. There was one point, and I talked to my niece about this at the time, and when this came out, when AIDS first came out, that there are some souls, not all souls, who will take on various conditions of the planet, and it could be through cancer, through AIDS, through various diseases, to alleviate some negative karma of the planet. So I've heard that before, and that feels right to me. Not every situation, of course, but some of them do. And with my sister, I think that was part of her agreement. And I think that also there are tests that we take, and sometimes we don't listen to our inner guidance, and we take on other things we shouldn't. We take on other people's energy, if you will. We take on negative thoughts and make them realized. And I think negative thoughts and fear block prana. So I think we have to be able to forgive, because if we don't forgive, that stains our souls. It stains us, and we don't want that. We don't want that to manifest. So there are definite lessons to be learned here, without a doubt. Rebecca, yeah, James, I've been listening and reading some of your books since my brother died. David died in 1981. I love your sessions. Why don't you join them? Great lessons. I'm just sorry. Thank you, Rebecca. Thank you very much. I'll start those up again. I'm just in the middle of transitioning, not only my sister, but my business here, my school. We're getting a whole new staff of people who are going to, we're very fired up to get the word out in different ways from the school. And so we're in the middle of doing that right now, learning new things, getting new people and new technicians who want to make the best for this page. We haven't had that in a while, so now we're going to get back into it. Great job. One of the things we will be doing this week is I'm going to do Mediumship 1. The most popular course I have in my school is, of course, the Certification Mediumship 1 course. And I'm going to do a free webinar, and it's going to be mediumship exercises and so forth. And that's this Wednesday. That's going to be from 4:00 Pacific time to 5:30. I'll do some exercises, mediumship exercises. I'll probably do some readings because I want you to, it's really to demonstrate to you what mediumship is about. And if you're interested in taking that course later on, that's fine. But it's just to have you, if you're not familiar with mediumship, to join and to have an experience and see if it speaks to you. My certification course is not necessarily open for a professional to be a professional to take it, but it is very much a course where you connect with the other side of life with your loved ones. And it's an interesting one. Speaking of that, I said earlier I couldn't connect with my own family, but if I have a family member in front of me, I can. So I was sitting in the hospital in the lobby with my other sister, Maura, her name is, and all of a sudden my mother shows up. I haven't heard from mother in a long time. And her very strong personality came through. And she said, your sister's the same she was in life, and she is in death. She won't make up her mind to go, We're waiting here, for God's sake. When is she going to come over? And that was my mother. So that was very interesting because I wasn't able to get that myself. And then she told my daughter, her daughter, my sister Maura, she said she was with her the other day lighting a candle at her at the church. And my sister said, yes, I was at christening of my grandchild and I lit a candle for her. Some mother caught that. So anyway, Wednesday night we'll do the free seminar for Mediumship 1 for the course that I'm doing, and I think you'll really enjoy it. You have to register though, so go to my website vamprog.com or the school, JP School of Mystical Arts, and register your name and your email there, and that way you can come to the free webinar, and it's great. It's really, really great. Yeah, we don't lose our personalities, that's for sure. So so that's what I want to mention to you. And I appreciate your help with the GoFundMe page, and also coming to the course, the open webinar on this Wednesday. And any questions you would like to ask now, I'd be more than happy to answer them if you have some. Sarah Hull says, sometimes I feel comforted knowing that after someone passes, we can communicate straight from the heart and not burdened by filtering through words or conscious thought. Very, very true. It's hard to describe, but it's such a strong sense of knowing. Sarah, that's this really great way of putting it. Really nice way of expressing it. There's that sense of knowingness. It's almost the heart language, right? So it's the heart language, and the best in them see the best in you. So it's really, like I'm going to talk about on Wednesday, mind-to-mind communication, because the soul is the mind is a soul, and it's just telepathy. It's from their mind sending a thought to your mind. It happens every day with us. I'm sure you've thought of someone, the phone rings, and it's that person, or something you're thinking about, then all of a sudden 5 minutes later it's on the television, or whatever it might be. We have these intuitions, these knowingness every day, because part of our nature is our soul nature. So a good way of expressing that. Okay, Kim Franks, are our loved ones who have passed with us, even if their souls come back? Yes, because we're multi-leveled, we're multi-beings, multi-dimensional beings. How I put it that way. So you're not just this. You're right now, as we're here, we're experiencing other lifetimes in the past, some in the future, but we're just aware of this particular one in this 3-dimensional space. But there's another part of your soul which might be very, very aware in the 7th dimension space. So, and they might know about this dimension, or they might not. So it's all different levels, different aspects of our soul. We're multi-dimensional beings, no doubt. Good question. Sharon, hi Sharon. Thank you for developing messages from the guides cards. I pull them every day. Oh, thank you, Sharon. Thank you very much. Hold on, let me pull one. Now that you mentioned it, let's see what I got. Okay. My deck here. Messages from the guides. So let's see. Let's all open ourselves up to hearing a. Kelly Williams, I'm also a medium and have blocked it, but now I'm allowing it and feel like I should take your course. How do I go about it? Are you still in San Diego? Yes, it's online. You should attend Wednesday night and go to the JP School of Mystical Arts. It's right there, or vamprog.com. And you'll find out how to do it. I think it's a gift. I think it's an opportunity to begin to live life. I'm shuffling the cards. These are the back of the cards, the front of the cards. I'll just do the back. Awesome cards. Thank you. I love the cards. They're so incredible. Well, all of them. And they're all such a different vibration. They're all frequency. I was looking at Omega Institute. I used to teach there. And they sent a catalog out for the summer programs. And I was so blown away by some of this stuff. I'm so happy. Something I started 30 years ago when I was working there. I was faculty there for a long time. And I used to tell everybody about energy. And it's all energy. An interesting thing was now they have a lady teaching vibrational frequencies, how to see someone from a vibrational frequency point of view energetically. I mean, that's fantastic. So we've come a long way in that respect. So, okay. Yes, this deck is for sale. But it's on Amazon. Messages from the guides. Yeah. And there's a little booklet too, which I have around here somewhere. Hold on. Let's go back here. My booklet. I don't see it anywhere. I gotta clean up my room. I gotta clean up my office. It's around somewhere because I've been using it. But there's a little guidebook too. It tells you how to use the cards, what they're about. These are channeled to me. I channel these. Well, everything's channeled, but I literally set down a circle and channel these cards. So let's see what we get. James, what if your family is very dysfunctional and you don't really want them? Well, Linda, we're all dysfunctional. Every family is dysfunctional. From what I gather, every family has dysfunction. That doesn't define you. And maybe you're in that dysfunctional family, so you can teach them about compassion and humility and boundaries. So by your example, they'll learn. So instead of saying the heck with you, bye-bye, use as an opportunity. Everything's an opportunity. It really is. It's an opportunity to grow and learn. And, for a while you must say, I had enough. Thank you, Renee. Renee put the link for the messages and the cards on Amazon. Thanks, Renee. Perfect. Thanks, Christina. Okay, I'm going to pick out a card for you guys. This is where everybody close your eyes and we'll see what comes up. Guidance from the heavens. Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you, everybody. You can open your eyes. When you sent that thought, I picked the card. Forgive yourself. It's so easy to self-criticize. I'm not good enough. I shouldn't have. Because remember that we're in a school here to learn. And part of our reason for coming down here is to forgive and love ourselves. And forgiveness is the best medicine we can give themselves. We're here learning. We're students. We don't know it all. We just do the best we can. That's all that's ever expected of us, is the best we can. So look in areas of your life right now, today, and see where there are areas that you're too hard on yourself, whether it's with your family, with your partnerships, with work, relationships, how you treat yourself, with what do you do to enhance yourself, to have joy within your life? What do you do for that? So that's something about forgiving yourself. Treat yourself kindly. I do. I have dance-offs every weekend in my house. I sit in the backyard and or stand, and I dance. And listen to great music and send out love and receive love from all my plants. You have to be happy with yourself. So forgive yourself in those areas you need. Okay. It's a tough one, but it's necessary. You'll grow so much. Because remember, when you forgive yourself, because if you don't forgive yourself, you're blocking up energy. And I'm going to share with you something I read, which is really cool. Hold on one second. I had my NDE a few hours after birth. That's Martine. Have slept between my clairsentience and clairaudience since birth. Lost suddenly twice. Young dear souls in rare and suddenly passing. My eternal grandfather passed one unexpected heart attack on the day of birth, and was found deceased in another hospital a few hours before I was born. Only met him in heaven. My father-in-law passed lung cancer illnesses over 10 years ago. Age. He is safe in heaven. Right. Okay. You got that right. Hold on. I want to read you something about forgiveness. It's really, really important. So forgiving ourselves. And it's important to forgive yourself. In the Buddhist tradition, Jack Kornfield, a wonderful teacher, talks about forgiveness. And I'm just going to read you a little bit of what he talks about. Forgiveness is not condoning, and it's not condoning the act, and it's not for the other person. It's forgiveness is for ourselves. Second is suffering of yourself, still holding on to the lack of forgiveness. It's just not compassionate to treat yourself that way, because if you don't, you feel the weight of this not being forgiven. If you can't forgive yourself, you feel the weight of that. So it's suffering. Like, we don't need to do suffering. We just talk about that. Third is reflecting the benefits of loving hearts. Your dreams will be more intense, more awake. You have set up an energy field, a magnetic energy field of love. When you reflect the benefits of a loving heart, that loving heart vibration brings in those in that level of love. So the animals will look at you more. People will be drawn to you in a positive, loving way. Wonderful things start happening in your life because you put down the walls and the energy can flow through. So it's a good thing. The fourth is not to be loyal to our suffering. What does that mean? Not to be loyal to our suffering. What happened to me? It doesn't define you. So whatever happened to you, whoever did something to you, whatever, it doesn't define who you are. So you don't need to be loyal to its suffering, right? Very important. And the fifth one is understanding it as a process. So if you don't forgive someone or yourself, it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process to get to. So it's layer by layer, a little bit at a time. But it's important that you start it, right? So it's a process. As anything in life is a process, right? The sixth one is set your intention, and set your intention. And by setting your intention, it kind of sets up the compass of the heart. It's really important. I always think in intention meditation, the first word is an intention, because intention follows those thoughts, or actually guides those thoughts, really. So that's important, the intention of why it's important to forgive, and set the compass of your heart where it's going to go. And then you'll find when you do that, obstacles become tolerable, and things begin to open up in all different aspects of your life. 7, need to learn inner and outer forms of forgiveness by forgiving yourself. What can you do that's positive to yourself? Treat yourself with a tender heart. Be tender and caring and compassionate. This is an opportunity for you to let go of the past, live in the moment in that compassionate, tender, sensitive way, because that's who we are. We're sensitive souls. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this page with me, right? And outer forms of forgiveness might be in, like I do, a garden, playing with your doggy, your kitty, smiling at people, saying something nice and kind in the outside. It really helps things to move on. Number 8 is inner technology. Whatever opens your heart, and a good one is Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. That his documentary, Mr. Rogers, years ago, that some of you might be familiar with. And one of his exercises, I say an exercise, is very much about this inner technology here, about whatever opens your heart. And what Mr. Rogers Fred Rogers said, think of someone in your life, that one person that had a strong effect on your life, that kind of changed your life, brought a sense of love to your life that you never would have had before, that made you who you are, that love that you've never experienced. There's got to be that one person. And to me, it was my friend Connie, who was a kind of like adopted mother to me around the corner when I was growing up. I dedicated my first book to her because she said, there's something about you. You're very special. You need to believe in yourself. And that, if she hadn't said that, I probably wouldn't be here today, because she helped me to look at myself in a different way. So think of that one person that recognizes that loving part of yourself. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay. 9, most be willing to grieve and let go. So the different aspects of grief that you'll go through, whether it's bargaining, anger, temper, loss, fear, go through those, the Kubler-Ross stages of grief, and feel them. Feel the loss, feel the letting go, the fear, the anger. Feel it, trust it, and I guarantee you, as you go through the journey of letting it go and grieving it, it'll transform your life. It will transform you in honorable ways that you never expected before. And 10 I wrote down was all the dimensions of trauma in the body release. So as we forgive ourselves and forgive others, all those traumas, all those stories, all those blockages in the body have a place to go now. There's an opening that they can be released. All those traumas can be released. So it's really important. There's one thing he mentioned that Jack Kornfield mentioned. Science says the body is a machine. Religious says the body is in God, love. And the marketplace says the body is good for business. And the body says, I am a fiesta. I am everything. So treat yourself accordingly. So I wanted to share that with you. Okay. So JBP, I love the meditation you did Wednesday. Thank you. The global meditation is going to be last Wednesday of every month. I went very deep and saw a shade of blue, teal, purple that words I can't describe. There you go. I can't compare it to anything. I went into a deep sleep. Kelly said the theta zone, very, very much so. And the more you do it, the more you'll relax and surrender yourself to those levels. So it's really, really important. So maybe the next one we'll do, the global meditation for next month, or this month, I should say, will be at forgiveness, since that's such a theme and goes to everything. Okay. Jana, developing my mediumship has definitely made me go deeper into self and be more aware of myself. Thank you, Jenna. Very, very true, sweetheart. So it doesn't matter, again, if you want to be a medium professionally, it's getting in tune with your soul. It's letting yourself become aware of your relation, my soul and I. It's an opportunity to get into my soul and I. And this Mediumship 1 course does that. It's an 8-week course, 64 videos. It does that. But come on Wednesday and you get a feel for it. It feels right at this time in your journey. People love it. I've always had responses, and people years later will write me and say that changed my life in ways I never expected. It brought new things into my life. I met different people. I've been traveling. It opened up all these doors because I got to know myself. I got to know that I'm a soul having a human experience, and I live with my heart out, not my head. My head is there, and I can use that when I have to be critical thinking, but I also live from my heart, and it's so fulfilling, and it's so complete, they say. It brings me into a state of wholeness, and that was through mediumship, because mediumship is very much a discipline, a process, and it goes into opening up that and peeling away the layers of the onion. So Wednesday night, 4 o'clock, we're having that free webinar. Please join me there. It is right there on Facebook or YouTube. Nadine, the meditation was really amazing. I forgot that I was sitting on my couch. Yeah, it's hard for me to do those meditations because I forget, Nadine, where I am. I was in a hotel room. I was doing from New York, and I didn't know where they were going to take me because I just let them take me, and it was really lovely. I thought it was a really, really wonderful meditation. Never done that before. Of course, every meditation is unique for me. So, because things change, and of course, everybody in the room, your energy, all collective energy, brings in a whole new way of what is needed, and they know that the intelligence of that world knows that. So good. Jenna, of course, definitely changed my life already. I feel more calm. Good, Jenna. Thank you. I'm very happy to hear that. Diane, James, I have to thank you. Mentioned my name earlier. Oh, you're welcome. I'd actually asked Spirit World if track I am on is the right path for me. I've just joined the development circle with the Spiritual Church, and if I am that they would get you to read my name out loud, and you did. Oh, Diane, never lower yourself. By the way, my love, just always bring yourself to that higher level. The development course is good. Development circles are very good, and just be aware that you want to progress, not degress. And a development circle is good when you have people with like minds. Sometimes there are people there that might be too restrictive. So just be mindful of that as well. Be kind to yourself, Diane, through that process. And good on you. Good for you. Okay. Okay. I'll leave you guys now with that. I'm looking forward to seeing you tonight on both sides now. And thank you for the GoFundMe page on Facebook. Renee will put that up for you there in the chat. I really appreciate that, as does my family. And best to you. Love to all of you, and I'll see you this evening at both sides now at 6 o'clock. And Puala, can spirits help us find our life purpose? Yes, Puala, they can help you find your life purpose. That's right. Okay. So thank you very much for your help, everybody, and blessings to you. And I'll see you later this evening. Okay. Bye-bye for now.